Do you guys have trouble falling asleep? Maybe you wake up feeling exhausted. What if I told you that some of your nightly habits are the leading cause of this problem? I've had a television in my room ever since I can remember. And because of that, I had trouble waking up and falling asleep and waking up in high school. So, do you guys experience the same issue? Maybe you know someone who's in high school or older who has trouble falling asleep. The introduction of technology into our modern generation has had serious effects on different areas of our sleep. And combined, they're going to have a severe problem for us in the long run. So today, I'd like to talk about first, how our modern generation needs to pay attention to our sleep. Second, ways to improve your quality of sleep and teach others who need the same advice. And finally, how your actions can lead you to a happier and more productive life. I'll begin by telling you how the technology around us is affecting us. Whether you're looking at a phone or a television, there are unforeseen consequences that are affecting you. We have to take responsibility of our sleep, and we have to take responsibility over our late night habits, in order to give our bodies the sleep that it needs. The problem is that when we expose our eyes to light, of artificial light that isn't the sun, we're telling our bodies it's still daytime and we abstain from sleep. It's rather simple to recognize if you're having this issue. To begin with, it affects your learning comprehension and productivity, which affects you at school or work. Second, it damages your skin, which causes acne. Third, it can actually lead you to unhealthy eating habits, with eating more and even preferring unhealthy foods. I actually have firsthand experience with sleep deprivation. As a teenager, I had unhealthy sleeping habits and would stay up way past what was a good idea. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced a teenager who is running on 3 hours of sleep, but it's definitely the closest thing to a zombie that we've ever seen in our real world. Actually, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that the first 2 seasons of The Walking Dead were filmed at a high school during finals week. Genuine, zero acting required. So, just be aware, a lot of this story had to be retold to me by my dad because I don't remember a good amount. So here's what I do remember. I remember waking up for school like a normal day, getting out of bed, and then something about a train mix-up. And then when my brain finally kicked on, it was like third period at school. I was at school. So eventually I got home and my dad was trying to have a conversation with me again. I was exhausted and he noticed I was gone. So eventually he told me that apparently as I was going to school, I'd gotten on the wrong train, going the wrong direction. And I ended up calling him and he had to walk me through step by step how to get off of a train and cross the platform to go back on the train, go in the right direction. I don't remember this at all, right? So I finally get to school, and I guess that's when my brain finally kicked on, but I can only imagine how the tardy call from my dad must have been. Like him calling the attendance office like, hi, this is Mr. Alexander, my son is going to be late today. And the poor attendance lady who's just has to ask, oh, what's the reason? And my dad must have been like, my kid's an idiot, right? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the attendance people had to have a hotkey that was just sleepy kids doing dumb stuff. Honestly, I'm proud that I made it to school alive, because my friends have told me stories where they also stay up way too late and they just have to get up and throw themselves at their parents so they get them to school. So the fact that I did my own, miracle. But the sad truth is that same miracle doesn't happen for everybody. Up to 6,000 people die every year from drowsy driving and fatal car crashes. And beyond fatal car crashes, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that drowsy driving is responsible for 72,000 car crashes and 44,000 injuries every year.
Wow.
There's no human on this planet that doesn't need sleep. Your brain's going to get it wherever you are, and it doesn't care if you're driving or not. Adults aging anywhere between 18 and 55 need 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night to function. Everyone wants to feel good, whether they're at school or at work. So how do you improve your quality of sleep? I'm so glad that you asked. There are a few things you have to pay attention to if you want to get the proper sleep. You have to make sure to put yourself in a position where you're going to bed at a decent time and that you are staying away from any light, like house light or a screen or a television, anything like that. this will tell your brain that it is nighttime, and it will naturally produce the chemicals that is needed to go to sleep. But it isn't instantaneous. So another point of that is forming the good habits, like maybe having a low light and reading a paper book to unwind your brain and let it calm down from the stressful day, and it will make the chemicals easier. Start taking steps to break the unhealthy habits, like watching television or anything like that. So any habits can be difficult to break, but with enough determination, you can set yourself up to have a healthier tomorrow. Let's look at some of the positive effects of how good sleeping habits have effect on you. Healthy sleepers gain numerous health benefits that have a large impact on their lives. Good sleepers, for example, eat fewer calories and have a better metabolism. Good sleepers improves concentration and productivity, including not blacking out on the public transportation system. That's an important one. And good sleep can even enhance physical performance. If you just let your poor sleeping habits drive you further and further into sleep deprivation, it's going to go beyond just having a harder life and concentration. It'll lead you to have more serious effects like depression or type 2 diabetes. So to wrap things up, you can see that sleep is not only essential to our survival, but as a species, good sleeping habits are essential to having a happier and productive life. So I've told you about the need for our modern generation to pay special attention to their sleep. I've told you about ways you can improve your quality of sleep and even help those who don't know how to help themselves. And third, how your actions can result in a happier life. So, how would you react if you knew that someone you loved was having trouble falling asleep and could potentially even get hurt just because they have a habit of watching TV to sleep instead of letting themselves fall asleep? Each and every one of us has the power to protect our sleep, and it's important that we do so. In conclusion, you all know how sleep is important, and even some things that it can improve your sleep. So help yourself and help others who don't know how to help themselves. Thank you.